Morning. So thanks everybody. I see there's more people that have joined online. Today is part 2 of the webinar series that I've put together. And this webinar series really is at a high level to give, real estate agents a good feel for how you can use, LeadSquared in your industry. So I will share the information with you afterwards. And like I said earlier, I'm going to share the recording for part 1 as well. I am going to be inviting you to actual system training that's happening next week. It is very, very short, condensed, straight to the point. There's really not much for you to learn in LeadSquared. So for those of you who are thinking of moving over to LeadSquared or subscribing to LeadSquared, and you want to get an actual feel for how the system actually works, I'm going to send those invites out to you today as well. So please join me. Those will happen at 9 a.m. For about 30 minutes for over 3 days, just so that we don't keep you online too long. If you don't join, I will record them and share the recordings with you anyway. But today's webinar is really focused on showing you how sales and marketing automation can help you nurture and qualify leads without any effort. So, in real estate, credibility, your credibility is really, really important. And I think the bottom line is that you should be treating every single lead that comes into your environment like it was your first date. And I know that sounds a bit cheesy, but if we think about it, if we go back to our first date, well, for those of us who can remember, the first thing is that, depending how far back it was, is if we got an SMS, a text message or a phone call, we replied quickly. When we had our first date, we arrived for our date on time. Some of us, a little bit too early. But if it was a first date that you were serious about, you answered those messages and you made sure, that you arrived. And if we think back to our first date, is that you arrived on time, and when you were there, you started asking each other questions, those awkward questions, and the purpose behind asking those questions, we wanted to get to know each other a little bit better. And this is very similar to how we actually treat our leads. So if we can get into that mindset of really placing that kind of value on every lead that comes into our environment. So yesterday I spoke about lead leakage, and it's a massive problem in most businesses. So once you've got LeadSquared and you eradicate all those that lead leakage, so all the leads are coming to one environment, the next step is to make sure that we can treat every single lead as if it was our first date. However, the challenge comes in is that imagine being on 1,000 dates at one time. So I certainly wouldn't want to experience that. But the bottom line is that if you've got leads coming in from, portals and emails and calls on top of everything you're doing, how do you give every single lead an exceptional experience? And the only way that you can do that is by actually using what we call sales and marketing automation. And this is one of the most important aspects that LeadSquared has to offer you in the real estate industry. So where do we even start? It sounds easy, but where do we even start? So the first thing is that you want to set up in LeadSquared your email templates. And, personalized, when we talk about an email sequence, okay, this is a series of emailers that you would use over and over again. So let's think about, a just listed template. That's a template that you would create once, and the only thing that's going to change is the actual property information, relevant to the property that you've listed. But you do the work once in terms of setting up the template, and then you just edit it with the variable property information at a time. So what you do is start with your contact lists that you've got, your databases that you've got, and import those into LeadSquared. And I'm going to show you how you do that today. Now, once you've imported that, you want to start distributing those email sequences out to your database and notifying people that you believe would be interested in your listing. Now, the reason why we want to do that is I showed you yesterday, how you create that emailer with a call to action. And we're going to cover a little bit more about that today, because that's where your automations pretty much, stem from. So if you have a look at this, you'll remember seeing some of this yesterday. So on the first image where I've got the Draper logo, this was just, a dummy email template that we created. So the first thing is that you need to make sure that your emails that you send out, all right, have got a call to action. So if you have a look at the bottom of that screen, you will notice that there's a blue button that says see more here. So if this was a just listed template that I'm creating, okay, an email sequence, when I send this email out to my database, which I will do from inside of LeadSquared, I want to direct people to a landing page, which you see on point 2, all right, that's going to answer every possible question that a potential buyer would have about that property. Now, you guys are real estate experts, and you already know the kinds of questions that different consumers or buyer personas would ask you about a property. So maybe people would ask you to give them more pictures. So make sure that when they click on that email on the first image, that when you take them to the landing page, that you've got all the possible images, videos, property size, attributes, etc. available there, so that you're using your content to answer their questions. Once you've done that, on that landing page, once again, you now have the opportunity for a lead to fill in their information. Like you can see, I've completed that form and that screenshot with Minnie Mouse with an email address and a telephone number. The moment somebody fills that in, it's going to come into your LeadSquared profile. But the question is, how are you going to respond to these people if they're doing it at 11 a.m. at night, 11 p.m. at night? So what we can see over here is that somebody has filled in that form like I showed you. And this is what happens is they come into your LeadSquared platform, and you can see that they've captured all this information without any intervention from you. So these are the fields on a form that I've created on a landing page. So I can immediately see this is exactly what this buyer is looking for. Okay, and I'm going to show you how this actually assists you in creating what we call a list, a dynamic list. It's probably one of the most powerful tools that you've got at your disposal in LeadSquared, and how you can action very targeted email sequences off this. Okay. Now, just so that you understand, when we talk about automated workflows, a lot of you have probably been exposed or seen a similar kind of diagram to what you're seeing in front of you before. And in automated workflows, basically if you take a piece of paper and you write down, okay, if I've got a new listing and I send it to somebody by email and they respond to me, there's a sequence that happens. So you would typically respond with, an email, or maybe you call them. And then if they don't answer you, you wait 3 days and then you take a different action. And this is what LeadSquared enables you to do, is take all those repetitive, okay, processes and automate it so that you move the leads down a funnel and you speak to the people who've actually taken the time to open your email, give you the information you need in order to give them the right service. So just to put that into perspective for you, if you had sent out this email as an example, all right, and somebody clicked on this button, went to this page, all right, and did nothing else, that's one scenario. The second scenario is somebody gets this email, clicks on the button, goes to the page and fills in this information as you see. And the third scenario is that once they've filled in this, you send them an automated email that asks them questions like, what is the budget? Okay, so if you look at this, where do you want to buy? What is your preferred suburb, bedrooms, bathrooms, price range? If a lead takes the time to give you this information, then would you agree that when you do your calls the following day, that you would want to call this person first before the other two, because they're more qualified? And that's what LeadSquared does when I talk about qualifying leads and pushing them down the funnel. So it gives you a very focused approach to your lead nurturing. Okay, so in this example, I mean, you can see it says here, a new activity on a lead. So when an activity happens on a lead, we want to send an email. So thank you for your query for this property, as an example. Then we wait for 2 days in this example. If they respond to the lead, okay, then we send them a follow-up to ask them where do they want to buy, are they approved for finance? And if they don't, okay, just in this example, I've indicated that I, as an agent, want to be notified so I can give them a call, you know, something along those lines. And that is what an automation looks like in LeadSquared. So once this happens, if you have a look at this emailer example, this is like the extra qualifying email that I'd send out. So if somebody has received my email and opened it at 11 p.m. at night, they go and look at the landing page with the property, they fill in their form. I'm already fast asleep as an agent. While I'm sleeping, the LeadSquared sends them another personalized email to say, thank you so much for, you know, sending us your details, but won't you just click on this button to describe your dream home to me? So I've customized that button. And what happens then is it gives them the ability to go to the next page. Now, do you see that form on where it says number 4, it's got extra questions like, have you been pre-qualified? Do you need a pool? So I have added those forms because that's what I want to ask my potential buyers. Why is that important? Because every time they fill in that information, my lists that I'm about to show you, my dynamic lists in my LeadSquared profile are being built, which means that I can send exceptionally hyper-personalized properties to buyers. And I haven't done anything except set these templates up, and the system is doing it for me, okay, while I focus on the stuff I want to do. So let's jump out of this quickly and go into LeadSquared. I just want to see if there's a question. Okay, we're all good there. Let me just go and log into LeadSquared quickly. Right, 47117. I'll share the screen with you shortly. Right, so let's press share and you should be seeing my LeadSquared profile. Okay, good. So what I want to show you now is, remember, all those leads that are coming into your LeadSquared platform are coming in over here into your leads section. So when I click on the manage leads button, every single lead that fills in a form instantly comes into this platform over here. So let me just show you what these leads look like. Remember that I showed you on that screen that the lead was Minnie Mouse that filled in that form. So if I go and click on that, this is a lead card that's been created, you know, automatically. It's a fake email address, and that's why it says over here, this email, you know, won't be sent. But what you can see is that it shows you straight away that they saw that landing page. This was the form that they filled in first, okay? They then viewed the landing page again. The system automatically sent them an automated email asking them for more information, all right? And they've gone back to view that landing page again. So it tracks every single activity that this lead, Minnie Mouse, has had with my content. Now, let me show you something super exciting. So if you go to leads and you go to manage lists, okay, a list for you guys would be something like, you know, the way you categorize your customers. So it's going to be along the lines of, put all my buyers that are looking for properties in Northwold for 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms between 1 million and 1.3 million. You know, that's a list. And you can make them as specific as you like. So what I'm going to do is show you how to create a list quickly. So if I create a list today, all right, and you guys know exactly already how you want to segment your customers. But the great news is that you're never ever going to have to create lists and manage them again, because once you've set your list up, LeadSquared will manage them for you. So on the screen, I'm going to say lead activity. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm building a list where I have people that have got a buyer requirement. Okay, but very specifically, I want to know where their preferred suburb. Now you'll see these fields should look very familiar to you. These are typically the questions that you would ask a potential buyer. Okay, so I'm going to say if they are looking for a property in Northwold, I'm also going to say that I want to put in a specific price range. So I'm going to say if the price from, all right, is 1 million as an example. And then I'm going to say the maximum price is, because it's very irritating for a consumer when you specifically say your price range and then, you know, an agent sends you a property for 5 million when you said it was 1.3 million. So just about customer experience. So I'm going to say price 2. So the maximum price is like 1.3 million. I'm going to say add. Now, I don't want to leave it as any criteria. I want to be specific so I can really give my database, my customers and prospects only the content they want. So I'm going to say all criteria. So what I'm saying is that if they are looking for a property in Northwold, okay, between 1 million and 1.3 million, and I'm just going to leave it at that for now. I'm going to say find leads. So you will notice now that it says that I've got 0 leads in my database that match that criteria, but that's okay. I still want to create my list because as people fill in that landing page for that property, this list will just grow and maintain itself. So you're always going to select a dynamic list. So the reason why dynamic list is the best list option for you to select is that at 2 a.m. in the morning, when somebody fills in that landing page for that specific property, okay, in Northwold that I emailed out, they're going to be added to this list. So if I've got any other properties that matches criteria, Northwold between 1 million and 1.3 million, so I'm going to say Northwold buyers 1.3 million, let's say 1 million to 1.3 million. Okay, and I'll just copy that over there and press save. Now, as they're coming into this list, they're just going to be added. So what happens now is that you will see a list of every single, or a grid rather here, that will show you a list of all the specific lists you've set up. And you will see how your list grows. So as people get added to your list, you will see exactly how many unique people are in your list. And you will also see over time your engagement index. So what does this mean? Well, this is just a demo account, so the engagement index will be 0. But what this means is that if you look at it, you will see which of your lists are responding to your content. And what that means for you is that you can start preparing or delivering similar kind of content to other lists, because that gives you an indication of what kind of emailers or landing pages are working. Okay, so lots of statistics for you to follow. Now, what's also great is that if I wanted to send out a bulk email to all the people that are in my Northwold buyers 1 million to 1.3 million, I've got the ability just over here to say send email or an SMS campaign. I can take bulk action. So if I say send email, so I was talking to you about those email sequences earlier. I just want to stop sharing to make sure that you can see this grid. You should be seeing a box that looks like an email at the moment. You'll see that it's going to be sent, all right, to all my Northwold buyers. Now, because I've taken the time and created my templates up front, I don't want to have to create them all over again. So I've got a template set up. All I'm going to do is go and search for my template from my list, all right? You'll see that it populates over here. There's my template. And when I hit the send button, there goes my email. not to my entire database of 50,000 people, to people that have expressed an interest to buy property in Northwold between 1 million and 1.3 million. And why is that so important? Because if you send personalized and relevant content to people, you're going to see how your engagement rates and your open rates and click-through rates increase, simply because you've got people that are taking interest in your actual content itself. So that's how you create super targeted lists of, of people filling in your landing page forms. And then let me show you the automation component. So over here where it says workflow, and you click on automation. If you want to set up an automation for people that fill in that particular landing page that I showed you earlier, you've got the ability over here, and you can see there's really not much for you to learn, because there's a button, one option for you to click on. So if I say create automation, we've set up a number of predefined automations for you already to even take the guesswork out of that. So this is what's going to happen when you click on that button. And for some of you, as you progress, you'll start building your own automations from scratch. But you can see there is a whole lot of automations already set up here, like birthdays, responding to prospects, etc. So in this example, I want to use this one. It says prospect follow-up 1. So after a lead submits an inquiry on a website, use this template to follow up with the prospect. Okay, so let's click on that one. Now this screen is pretty much what I showed you earlier. So what you're basically going to be doing is say, if we edit this and say, if a lead submits a form on my website, okay, not just any website, I want it to be specific. So this landing page, okay, then what I want to do is I want to press save. So that I've selected my website, and then I'm saying I want to automatically send them an email. So I'm going to click on this button over here, and now it's going to ask me to select the email that I want them to get. Okay, so this is where I'm going to link my email. Let's just press done. And then if they don't answer that email, then I'm going to wait for 2 days, or I can edit that as well. I can say I'm going to wait for 1 day or half an hour. It's really up to you. And then what I'm going to do, so over here, this is where I set if I'm going to wait for 1 day. So if they then open that email, all right, then I want to send them a follow-up for them to say where they've got the opportunity to give me more information about what they're looking to buy. Like, do you want a pool? Is security important to you? And if they don't answer that, I want to send a notification to myself as the agent as a task to say, please phone this contact. And what's going to happen is I'm going to receive a push notification on my phone and an email reminder to make sure that I follow up on that actual prospect. Now, if you see at the top here, what you do is you just go and name your automation to say Northwold 1 million to 1.3 million follow up. So once I've created my automation, you press save and publish it. And the moment you've published it, that is live, and the system is now taking care of those automations for you. So automations is something that really, really, really can streamline and make your real estate business very, very efficient. And like I said, things like property anniversaries, birthdays, website responses, just general, customer engagement can all be done using your actual automations inside LeadSquared. Do you guys have any questions that you want to push through on the chat box so long that I can help answer for you? Okay, so there's a question here. Are all comms communications done via email, or is there an SMS element as well? Great question. So on LeadSquared, yes, you can absolutely do SMS, and you can do email, and you can do call. So there's a little bit more than that, but let's just show you over here quickly. So you go back to, I'm just waiting for my internet, guys. Sorry about that. So if I go back to actions over here, do you see it says send email, send SMS? Okay, so you've got the ability to send SMSs and emails. Obviously, SMSs you need to buy credits for, and depending on your LeadSquared plan you're on, you would either have to buy email credits, or for module 1, 2, and 3, you get email credits included in your package as well. For those of you who use Facebook and Google AdWords, what you also want to look at is connecting your Facebook accounts and your Google AdWords accounts using the app marketplace. So why is that important? Because when you're generating leads that are coming through from Facebook lead ads and Google AdWords, all the leads will be added into your LeadSquared profile as well. So that is also a communication channel. And then you've got the ability to do Facebook remarketing. So very, very powerful applications that you can integrate with here, all just using simple app marketplace on LeadSquared itself. Okay, let me just make sure I'm answering everybody's questions here. Okay, so WhatsApp. Guys, WhatsApp is not an option at the moment. So the only reason for it is we have explored it in at great length. It's just super expensive. So when I say expensive, there's around, costs around 14,000 euros a year for your license. There's I think it's a 4,000 euros or something like that a month, and then you still pay, I think it's just under £1 for a message. So it really is not a viable an option to use integrating here. But what I would definitely recommend is that if you guys are using WhatsApp, that you download the WhatsApp business app and convert your, if you're using the private WhatsApp, that you use the WhatsApp business app. The icon looks like that, and it allows you to create broadcast lists. But what's really useful around that is that when you are sharing content on your WhatsApp broadcast, you must always put a call to action in every communication. Why? Because if you send me a WhatsApp, make sure you put a link in it. Because if I want to see more, I can get to that landing page and fill in the form. You want me to fill in that form so I can get into your lead funnel. So make sure call to actions is critical. And then if you want to add previous clients from lists that you've created into LeadSquared, absolutely you can do that. So inside LeadSquared over here, I'll just show you. If you go to leads and manage leads, on the right hand side of the screen, you'll see that there's an import lead option. So you've got the ability to add one lead at a time, and you can also import leads. Okay, so if you are wanting to add one lead, this screen is pretty straightforward. I mean, there's no guessing what you need to do here. It's just fill in the fields, okay, and save it. And if you want to import leads, you're literally going to click on this button. It's going to give you there's only 4 options you can do here. Number 1, download the template. Once you've got your data ready, upload it. So find your file on your computer, and then you're going to press next. So very little learning for you to do here, or very little that can actually go wrong, because there are only so many options on each screen. So I hope that answers your question over there. You can add customers or contacts into your database as well. So guys, that is what I wanted to share with you today. Tomorrow, what we're going to be doing is going into Smart Views and showing. So I've shown you a little bit about how to get leads into LeadSquared, how to nurture them. But essentially what we want to do next is show you how you can create one workspace. So there's only one thing that you need to focus on every day. Somebody's got a question here about, please tell us about the different prices on LeadSquared. I can definitely share that with you quickly. For those of you who want to just stick around, I'm going to share, I'm just pulling that up for you so I can share that with you quickly. It is a good question. Right, so let's just get this onto your screen. Okay, so you should be looking at an Excel document at this point. I'm going to make it slightly bigger so you guys can see. So let's start over here. Down this column, you see all the features that are available inside LeadSquared. Okay, so contacts, as an example, is really, this is the number of contacts, so the number of leads you can actually have in your profile. Now, if you have a look on this side of the screen, for those of you who are currently my subscribers, we've done a comparison here so you can actually see, right, the, what do we call it? Let's just unhide this quickly. Okay, so if you're using mouse, you will see all the features that are available to you, but look at, there's lots of no's over here. So just to, I want to show you, even if you migrate from mouse to LeadSquared, okay, what you're getting access to as additional features. What you will notice, if you migrate, okay, you currently, well, our current mouse cost is $5.95 a month, and if you migrate, you will still pay $5.95 a month. However, you are limited to 10,000 contacts, and your email credits are still prepaid and SMS credits are prepaid. And you don't have any landing pages, you can see over here, okay, and none of the website tracking, the cool stuff I shared with you yesterday and today. However, for those of you who understand the importance of you know, lead generation and lead nurturing, and you really want to take advantage of all the efficiency LeadSquared can offer you, you're going to want to look at module 2 or module 3. Why do I say that? Because in module 2, it gives you the ability to create 5 landing pages. If you understand the value of creating content, okay, you're going to want to put every single one of your new listings, you're going to want to write blogs and generate credibility around your brand in the industry, 5 landing pages is not going to last you very long. Why? Because think about it like this. You could have a seller page, a generic seller page, generic buyer page, tenant landlord, and a thank you page, and you're done. But if you want to start putting out you know, landing pages for every single one of your properties, if you want to start writing blogs, which you absolutely should be doing if you're in the business of real estate, then module 3 is the best package for you to go on. So you can have a look at the pricing options at the top here. Module 3 is 1,399 Rand a month and pretty much gives you 1 million email credits included in your package, 500,000 contacts, which is a lot of contacts, okay, and full access to everything else you need. On module 2, for those of you who want to start out and just do like 5 landing pages and then, you know, migrate at a later stage to module 3, you can do that. But what it does is it still gives you 200,000 email credits and 100,000 contacts. Module 1 doesn't give you any landing pages. So for those of you who just want to do, you know, emailing and emailing, you'll have 100,000 credits and 100,000 contacts. So these are the most exciting modules over here, module 2 and module 3. But just understand, if for those of you who want to move across a little bit slower, you do have the ability, if you're an existing MICE subscriber, to jump from MICE to module 0, which is only for migration clients. So the reason for that is because we export all your contact data out of MICE and we go and import it into your LeadSquared profile for you. So it's a per user, so per user pricing. So if you've got 3 agents, you would pay whatever module it is times 3. Just a lot of people get confused and think it's, you know, is this for an office as an example, but it is a per user. Okay. So I think I've just answered that question. Is the 5 landing pages per agent? Guys, it's if you're okay, great. But let me just answer for everybody else. If you are a principal online now today and you decided you're going to sign up for LeadSquared for 5 of your agents, if you sign up for 5 agents, the 5 landing pages, okay, will be the 5 landing pages are at your company level. So you would then have to set up generic seller, buyer pages that will be generate leads. And depending on what areas they're for, you can then distribute leads to each agent. But if you are wanting to use it, at its full capacity, if you are a principal and you've got a team of 3 agents you want to sign up for, then I really wouldn't want to waste your time by giving you the wrong advice. So module 3 would be the best option for you. Okay, another question: where can I find all my contacts that have been imported into Mice in LeadSquared? Very good question as well. Let me show you that quickly. So when we go back into LeadSquared, I'm on leads over here, and I go to manage activities. So obviously you guys would know the names of the streets and whatever you're looking for. Now, if you have a look over here, it's set on this activity type. I'm just going to take off this filter called seller property. Seller property is all the current homeowners that were in your Mice profile that we've imported. So if you want to go and do a search, as an example, for people that are in, let's say, Benguela, let me find something I can actually spell. Okay, so Easterhout. So I'm going to do an advanced search, and I'm going to go find all the people that are homeowners in Easterhout. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and say, give me everybody in the street name is Easterhout, add, find activities. And basically what's going to happen is it's going to go and find me all my people, my homeowners in Easterhout. And you'll see that the grid has been set up like this. I've set it up because I want to see the registration dates and the suburb and the street number and street name. However, if you want to go and customize your columns, you can go and choose exactly what you want to see on your actual lead list, and you can even go and restore it to defaults and start again. So every single one of you can go and customize your columns or views so you can see exactly what you want to see. Okay, so that's where you go and find your data in LeadSquared, the data that we're moving into LeadSquared from Mice. Okay, as a non-principal agent, would leads from Prop 24 be possible? Okay, so also great question. When you guys sign up, we've got an additional little service. I think, don't hold me to it, but I think it's around 270 Rand a month, and that's for us to pull all your leads in from the portal. But this is what your leads would look like. So if you want your leads to come into the portal, so if I go to leads once again and manage leads, if you take what we call the portal, little top up that I'm showing you now, you'll see lead source gives you the ability to go and search for all your leads. So all the leads that come in from the portals we put in here. So this is what it would look like. So here I can see property 24. It doesn't matter where they come from, but as the leads come in, this is all the information that we automatically update for you with no effort from you. So you can see it came in from property 24, the date it came in, who the lead is. But what's really important is that we scrape in all the information. So you can see over here, where's the source, what's their requirement, their price, suburb, the links, and the address. And this is very important because remember I showed you the lists earlier. So as soon as somebody matches, if it was Northwold between 1 million and 3 million, they would have automatically been added to that list that we created earlier. And that's why we pull in all this information so that we can basically, LeadSquared will segment your list and create your list dynamically as you actually bring leads into your lead environment. So I hope that answers that question. But we will, as you want to, subscribe and move on to LeadSquared, we will ask you those questions to determine if that's something that you actually want to do. Okay. You guys sure there's no other questions that I can answer for you while you're online today? Okay, good. So I hope today has given you a good idea of how you can use LeadSquared to qualify your leads even further, nurture them, put them into lists, and then use automation to communicate with them in a very, very targeted and personalized manner. From a if you've got any questions around LeadSquared and what's the best option for you guys to follow, then what I suggest you do is pop me an email through to Chantal@leadsquared.co so I can answer them individually. But okay, so there's just 2 more good questions here. Method of payment, guys, you can pay by EFT or debit order, all right? Okay, another good question, is migration optional or inevitable? I wish I could say it's optional, but it's inevitable. So as I mentioned yesterday, we're shutting MICE down at the end of May. It just doesn't make sense to keep people on a manual CRM where you're going to keep going and updating information manually. So, you know, technology changes so quickly, and it doesn't make sense for us to maintain 2 infrastructures. Last question, if you want to sign up as a trial, I need you just to bear in mind that a free trial, if you sign up for a free trial on our website, we'll absolutely give you a free trial, but please understand that none of the settings that I've shown you in the demo yesterday and today will be available because it's just a free trial. It's completely generic, okay? Whereas the demo that I'm showing you, when you sign up, we know what you need as a real estate agent already in terms of the lead fields, the custom activities. So we do that set up for you already. So yeah, you know, taking on a sales and marketing automation platform is it's an investment. It's a decision that you need to make. So I'd rather you ask me, you know, as many questions as you need to offline. But signing up for a free trial on our website is not going to do anything for, you know, if you really wanted to get a feel for the system. Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap up there. Thanks very much for joining me, and I will share both recordings with you a little bit later today. Thanks for asking really, really great questions, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on our next webinar.